Is Eva Marie the next WWE Divas champion? The last couple of weeks, there's been a news story floating around the internet stating that Eva Marie is going to be getting a huge push in the WWE on the main roster very, very soon. Now, recently, that big push had been promised to Lana. Lana, if you've noticed recently, hasn't been as heavily featured on the show as she once was. Now, she's on the show every week. She's in a storyline with Rusev and Summer Rae and Dolph Ziggler. But she's not. It's not like it's one of the top storylines in the company. Now, in the next couple months, Eva Marie will probably be brought up to the main roster. She will be the top diva, the top woman wrestler in WWE, and she is going to be pushed as the #1 female wrestler in WWE. She's going to be the top WWE diva. So, now some people are not happy about this. They think that, okay, she's been training with Brian Kendrick. She's been doing live events for NXT. She's done at least one. She may have done some tapings recently for NXT, but she's appeared on one episode recently on NXT. She had a match. She was okay compared to what she used to be. She used to be horrible in the ring. Now she's maybe below average, I would say, for a women's wrestler in WWE. But look, she's training hard. She's getting better. But is she good enough right now to be brought up to the main roster and be the top diva in WWE? I mean, now that you have this whole Divas Revolution thing going on, should you bring up another diva up to the roster, another woman up to the roster? I hate saying diva, it's ridiculous, but another woman up to the roster when you're spending all this time pushing all of these other new female wrestlers like Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks. It's probably not a good idea right now. Now, 6 months, a year from now, maybe. The problem is that Eva Marie is almost 31 years old. She's getting old, and for a WWE diva, that's somewhat old. Not extremely old. That's around the age that Trish Stratus retired. So there's a time limit here to how long they can really wait to start bringing her up to the main roster, and they don't want to just bring her up and just have her be a diva mid-carder. They want her to be the top diva. They want her to be #1. They want her to be the champion. Could in September coming up here, it's possible at Night of Champions or Hell in a Cell or something like that, we could see Eva Marie challenging Nikki Bella, whoever the Divas champion is at the time, for the champion. Could be challenging for the championship and winning it. Now, there's a possibility she may even be the one who defeats Nikki Bella and actually is the one to defeat Nikki Bella first before anyone else. Because Nikki Bella, she's building up this whole... WWE has been building up the last few months Nikki Bella's long title reign, that she's going to be the longest Divas champion in history. Now, right now, it's AJ Lee in the record books. And WWE really wants, in storyline, they really want Nikki Bella to be the, longest reigning Divas champion of all time, and Eva Marie could be the one to beat her, to take the title from her next. So, in my opinion, I think that Eva Marie is just not ready. I would say give her, she's getting older, time's running out, but she still needs some time in the ring. I would say at least 6 months to a year. Let her win the NXT Women's Championship. I know that's going to upset a lot of people probably. I don't think she should be NXT Women's Champion yet, but have her win that title first, hold her for a few months, then maybe a few months later after that, bring her up to the main roster, and then maybe she can maybe for a few months she can, get her feet wet, not go full force into being a challenger for the Divas title. You know, she can wrestle Sasha Banks. She can wrestle Charlotte. She can wrestle some good women wrestlers and get used to wrestling every single week on television, having good matches. Now, back to this whole Divas Revolution thing. You know, there's been a lot of people who have been criticizing it, and there's a lot of people who have been praising it. And I'm kind of right now on the fence. I kind of see it right now as it's a work in progress. It's definitely not great right now. It's getting a little bit better. It's getting a little bit better. It's almost like they kind of, it gets good. It's good one week and it's bad one week. You know, it's like a couple weeks ago where you had the finish that was screwed up on SmackDown with Charlotte and Naomi, and that tag match they had on SmackDown a few weeks ago. And they screwed up the finish, and Charlotte was supposed to win, but Naomi actually accidentally pinned her, and there was a lot of controversy about that. People saying, you know, Charlotte's not very good, or Naomi's not very good, or whatever. But, yeah, it's been up and down, but what they really need to do is they just really, really need to start focusing on building up these women's personalities. They need to have, I think one positive thing they have done is have those video packages for Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks. That was a good idea. You can only do that, you know, you show them 1 week and that's it. You need to have a storyline of some kind, whatever it may be. Maybe not a goofy, wacky storyline like, you know, Sasha Banks had an affair with, you know, Daniel Bryan or something, and it pisses off Brie Bella or something like that. Maybe not something that goofy, but they got to have something, some type of storyline of some kind to get people interested. Because if you look at all of the women in the past who have had success, Lita, Trish Stratus, AJ Lee, they were all involved in storylines. Not just a storyline with, you know, another female wrestler, but also they were involved in storylines with the male wrestlers. So what you would have to do is, let's say, you know, you have an upper mid-card wrestler like a Dean Ambrose, a Roman Reigns. You know, Roman Reigns could be, you could say he's main eventer, but a guy who is not wrestling right now in main events, use that guy to elevate the Divas division, to elevate these women, so you could have a lot of mixed tag matches. I think that would definitely help things a lot. Now, if you take a look at the Rusev, Summer Rae, Dolph Ziggler, Lana storyline, you could say that it's been hit and miss. So, just because you have these divas being associated with the male wrestlers, you could say, oh, the fans take the male wrestlers more seriously. That's just an opinion. That's not my opinion. That's just a opinion that some people have. And what you would do is then, the problem with Rusev is kind of has been on the downturn the last few months, because he lost to John Cena earlier this year, and he's never recovered. He's not as bad off as some, you know, like he's not as bad off as some guys like an Adam Rose or a Zack Ryder, but he's definitely been on the downturn, and he's kind of a mid-card. He's a mid-carder now, you know. He hasn't lost like 1 million matches since he lost to John Cena, but he's lost a few. But final words on this: if Eva Marie ever makes it to the main roster, which I suspect she will, sometime in the next few months, 6 months, something like that, she's probably going to win the Divas title, and a lot of people are not going to be happy about that.